Welcome to European Stock Trend Prediction channel. So in this video, I talk about the prediction and analysis of Tesla stock price fluctuation for the next week. So today is June 25th. So in the last week, in a common response, I mentioned it is expected that there's maybe a cool down activity for the Tesla stock price. So this is a Tesla weekly chart. This is a Tesla daily chart. So that means if you choose a weekly chart, that means each vertical bar is a weekly, so is a 1 week's fluctuation of the stock price. And if it is the daily chart, then each vertical bar is 1 day's fluctuation of the stock price. And this trend lines, different color of trend lines, are the predicted target high and target low based on the prediction model. So in last week, so the day before last week, it closed here, and then it's above this yellow trend line. It's in this kind of a band. And last week when it opened here, so even though it looks like the same price as the closing price, but it's already moved down to this band, so it's one band lower than the previous week. So when it opened here, so that means it's located one band below the previous week, and then the fluctuation range will be determined based on this trend line and this blue trend line and this yellow trend line. So you see in early of last week, it still have an increasing trend and kind of pushed up. And last Wednesday, for example, based on the daily chart, this last Friday, last Thursday, and last Wednesday, you see last Wednesday, and it opened here and it pushed up a little bit, but it's still below this yellow trend line on the daily chart. So that means it's still this yellow trend line is strong resistance. It's one band below this, below the previous closing price. So when it opened here, and since it's below one band below, actually it's 1 or 2 band below the previous closing price, since it will have some kind of a decreasing trend. So on Wednesday, it started to have a very big decrease, and even decreased all the way down to the bottom trend line on this daily chart. So if you know this kind of a decreasing trend, then you will know it will trying to find a lower price trend line, so trying to find a support. So when it decreased to this price, it will fluctuate around this price for a while, or it may have a temporary push up. But since it still have the decreasing trend, and this kind of predicted trend lines will also show some kind of a downtrend. So this trend line cannot be supported, and it will drop it down to a lower price trend line. And for this kind of increasing trend, since it's already increased for some days, so when it started to drop, it typically will try to find the lowest support, lowest blue line as low as possible. So on this Wednesday, is have a big drop, and when it dropped down on this bottom trend line, it started to have a little bit push up, but since it already started to show this kind of a decreasing trend, so the next day when it opened here, it opened low. So when it opened low, still have a little bit decreasing trend, but it didn't exactly touch this blue trend line, and then many people wanted to buy it, so it still have a big increase. So you see for this daily, last Thursday, when it increased up to this yellow trend line, and then it's the increasing momentum already already decreased a lot, so it doesn't have a very strong increasing momentum. And when it pushed up a little bit, and then it closed there, the closing price is around here. So but since it still shows this kind of downtrend, so the next day, and that's last Friday, it's still opened a little bit low and then fluctuate. When it opened low, compared to this closing price, it's still one band below this price, so it's still determined the fluctuation range will be in this range because it's already located one band below this price. So the fluctuation range is around here, and typically for this kind of a decreasing trend, it will try to find a lower price trend line. So then early next week, so you see this still have the downtrend. So early next week, it will still have a decreasing trend. So the next week, fluctuation range early next week is around this range between $258 and $247. So it may break down below this price a little bit. It depends. So but the general fluctuation range is this range between $247.8 and $258. That's for early next week. And for the next week, since there's $258 is around this price, so the closing price of the last week is around this yellow trend line. It's almost touch this yellow trend line. So next week when it open here or a little bit below this yellow trend line, so it could become a strong resistance. So it could drop down to this $246. So that's the early next week. But when it dropped down to this $246, as long as it can be supported, doesn't drop below this this blue trend line, if it doesn't drop below this blue trend line, it will still try to push up to this $256, and if it can be break through, it will try to push up to this $268.8. So the regular fluctuation range for the next week is between this $246 and $269. So if you are interested in this kind of fluctuation range and fluctuation range prediction and analysis, you are welcome to subscribe Youpin Stock Trend Prediction channel. Or if you are a subscriber of this channel, you may get a free 2 weeks or 3 weeks trial version of this prediction model if you are the first time user. So you can just send an email to youpinstock.com or order those kind of prediction models through youpinstock.com. That's an online store. Thanks for watching the video.